So I want y'all to know, stay tuned to the end of the video. When I go home, I'm gonna show you my garden because I planted my garden and things started to grow. So I want to show you all that, my peach trees, my plum trees, and things like that. So everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Traveling Gun. I am Thomas. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, like, share, all that jazz. Until my returning subscribers, I do appreciate y'all. I thank you for the support. Today is a 4-day trip. Today is only a a 2-leg day. I deadhead from Atlanta to Minneapolis, which that's just a long nap for me. And then I sit in Minneapolis for about 2 hours. And then I work a flight to Des Moines, which I think that's maybe 50-something minute flight. So not too bad of a first day. Now, I am working with someone that's super senior. So, what we would call her is a senior mama. And the way we know how that someone is senior is we can look at the employee ID number. At least with my company, we can. And the lower their number is, the longer they've been at the company. The higher the number is, the least amount of time they've been with the company. So that's how we could tell. So hopefully, she's cool or whatever like that, because before I got here, my company never really existed per se. What happened was two regionals combined together. I don't know if they were sold or went bankrupt or whatever, but they combined and merged together, Pinnacle and Masaba, and they merged together, and then they formed my company here. So that's the short history of how my airline came about. But other than that, I'm finna get ready and catch this shuttle. I'm super early. I was supposed to be at the gate at 9:15, and it's 8:34. So I'm super early, but I want to get to the gate early because there are some window seats that I want, but they're in the back and they wouldn't allow me to move it. So I want to get to the gate to ask the gate agent before they start assigning seats, hey, can you move me to, is it possible to move me to a window seat? I always ask, and I always try to be as polite as possible. And I don't care that I got an exit row, but I'm in the aisle, and I know my head lean in the aisle when I go to sleep. And flight attendants don't care. They will hit you in the cart. They don't care who you are. They will hit you. So I'm trying to get to the window seat. So I'll see you guys a little bit later on once I get to Des Moines. Everybody, I made it here to Des Moines. The one flight was very uneventful. I didn't have a service flight, but I didn't get to the gate until it was actually time for boarding because my deadhead left late and I landed late. So, and I'm not, one of those things, I'm not running. The company can see that your deadhead is late. So when I got on board, they had a SAFA that was waiting to board for me, which a SAFA is a special assignment flight attendant. I don't want to call them a supervisor because they don't supervise you or anything. What they do is they make sure when you come down to the flight that you have everything that you need. If not, they can call on the radio to the tower, to catering, to whatever. So they just make sure you have what you need, and they help board flights. Now, sometimes they do have to fly flights, especially if it's a turn. So sometimes they do have to do that. So, and that's kind of what a SAFA is and does. They just go home every day. In retrospect, that's what they do. They go to the airport. They have certain flights that they have to check on to make sure we leave out on time, make sure everybody's there, you got what you need, and then boom, they get to go home at the end of the day. So that's what a SAFA is, for those who don't know. Also, here's my view of Des Moines, where I'm at. Don't know what that building is right there, but this is my view. Just an obstructed view of other buildings. Coming here, this one flight didn't have any service, so it was very uneventful. And it's cold here. It is 35 degrees here in Des Moines. I left Atlanta at 86. Now in Minneapolis, it was 38. Now it's 35 here. Yeah. But I got to finish my LMS. I need to finish that. and I'm gonna go work out, and I get up. I have a 6 o'clock van tomorrow, so I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 2. Good morning, everybody. Today is day 2. What is it? A 4-leg day. 3 working legs. I go from Des Moines to Minneapolis, Minneapolis to Green Bay, back to Minneapolis, and then I did head back here to Iowa. Instead of Des Moines, I go to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So it's not too bad of a day. Those are not long, super long flights. Also, I want to tell you, say this. I've always advocated for men's health, and I feel like men don't go to the doctor as often as women do. Not saying that, women go to the doctor all the time, because we know nothing is absolute, but women are more likely to go to the doctor more than men on a regular basis as far as getting physicals and things like that. The reason I bring this up is because my uncle recently was just in the hospital, and they found out that he had a 60% blockage, and they put a stent in. And of course, we was on a cruise, and he was eating the way that he was eating. And I was telling him, I said, hey, Unc, you need to, calm down with eating on the hamburgers and stuff like that. Explaining to him that's what my dad did. My uncle is a lot bigger than my dad. So my uncle is probably maybe 150 pounds heavier than my dad was, if not more. And my dad just ate, he just ate, and I'm pretty sure he's had symptoms but he just didn't want to go to the doctor. My dad just was one of those people that never went to the doctor. But when he died, he had a 90% blockage. So, which it didn't surprise me and my brother, just because that's how we seen our father eat. We tried to encourage him to stop and go to the doctor, but he would never do it. So, as you get older, you have to really watch what you eat, especially if you're not being active and working out and things like that. You just have to, because again, our body isn't designed to just continue to eat like we're 15 years old anymore. As you get older, you got to, and if you feel like your body doesn't feel right, something just feels off, go get checked. That's all I can say, is just go get checked. Just go get checked. I'm trying to be here as long as possible, so that's why I don't eat bad like that. I eat certain things, but other than that, please, fellas, y'all have to take health seriously, because again, I'm seeing it firsthand with my family as far as the way that people are eating and things like that. So I'm encouraging you all to go get checked on a regular basis, to start working out, being active, and taking care of your bodies. So, but other than that, I'll see you guys a little bit later on once I get back here to Cedar Rapids. Hello everybody, I made it here to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and today's flights were very uneventful. Not too bad of a day, it wasn't that bad. Tomorrow's a 12-hour duty day with longer legs, so let me show you my view here in Cedar Rapids. Nothing. Basically, this is what I get to see, just the back of a warehouse building. But I haven't been to Cedar Rapids in a while. It's been a long time, because we used to have these layovers out of Atlanta, and don't know what happened. Flying is constantly changing. Also, I want y'all to know, stay tuned to the end of the video. When I go home, I'm gonna show you my garden, because I planted my garden and things started to grow. So I want to show you all of that, my peach trees, my plum trees, and things like that. So stay to the end for that. But I'm gonna get ready and work out, come back up here and finish the LMS up. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, for a 6 o'clock van. Good morning, everybody. Today is day 3. This is gonna be a 12-hour and 15-minute duty day today. So I go from Cedar Rapids to Minneapolis, Minneapolis to Cincinnati, Cincinnati to LaGuardia, LaGuardia back to Cincinnati, and I'm done by 7 o'clock tonight. So this is the longest day of my trip. So it's gonna be a long day. I got plenty of rest last night. I actually ended up falling asleep probably at 9 o'clock, because I was just in the bed and woke up when my alarm was going off this morning at 4:45. So, but I'm finna get ready to go downstairs, and I'll see you guys once I get to Cincinnati. Everybody, I made it here to Cincinnati. Had to wait on this shuttle for an hour because of how they run the van. Um, every top and bottom of the hour, so they can't just leave, which don't make any sense. If you didn't have any drop-offs or anybody to take to the airport, why not just come and get us? But I've only stayed at this hotel here in Cincinnati maybe once, because at first I was like, I've never stayed here before. But then once we got over here to the area, I was like, I remember this particular light that's right here by the hotel. It holds for a very, very long time in the morning, even though nobody is coming. So that's what I did remember. So I have stayed here once, but we stay at probably 4 different places here in Cincinnati. And this is probably my least favorite just because of how the van runs. But other than that, today was just a very uneventful day. Full flights. All 4 flights were very full. We had, on one of our flights going from Minneapolis to Cincinnati, we had 2 jump seaters. We had a jump seat in the flight deck and a pilot sitting in our jump seat. For those who don't know, our pilots that work for my company can sit in the flight attendant jump seat to make it to and from work or home or commuting, wherever they got to go. But they cannot trump us as a flight attendant on our own jump seat. So if I needed a jump seat from Minneapolis to Cincinnati, I would have bumped that pilot because we have priority on our own jump seat. So that's a good thing. But it's also a good thing for our pilots, that they can get to and from work. And also our pilot took it because there was a pilot from another airline that was trying to get to work that didn't work for us. So he gave up the flight deck to take ours. But other than that, I'm probably going to go down to the gym to get a 1.5 mile run in. I'm not going to lift weights. It's almost 8:15. Have to be up at 5 in the morning. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for go home day. Good morning, everybody. Today is go home day. It's going to be a short clip, but it's 2 legs. I do an Austin turn, and then I have a 2-hour sit in a deadhead. Now, we're going to try to see if we can leave a little bit early in Austin to try to make an earlier flight, because it's plenty of seats. It's like 50 seats. So we're going to try to see if we can leave a little bit earlier, so that way I can make an earlier flight. And the gates are not too far apart from each other from where we land and then where the other flight out of Atlanta is leaving. So I need enough time, but I don't need like a lot of time, because it's not like I got to go to another terminal or anything. The gates are not maybe 2 or 3 gates apart from each other. So we're going to see how that works, and hopefully I can make it. If not, I'll just be sitting there for 2 hours and getting home a little bit later. But I'll see you guys once I get home to close out the video. Everybody, I've made it home. I was able to get on the earlier deadhead to make it back to Atlanta a lot earlier. So I was able to do that because they gave me a seat before I even landed back in Cincinnati. But other than that, everything was uneventful for these 2 turns. I'm here in my garden. I don't forgive the weeds because I weeded before I left, but it rained in between time. So that's what happened. So I'm finna show you some of the stuff that I started to plant, and we're gonna go from there. So this is the okra that I started from the seeds from when I planted 2 years ago that I still had in the house. And then here's some more over here. And then those are ones that I just planted by seeds by putting them in the ground, the smaller ones. So those are gonna take a little bit longer because I planted those 3 weeks ago. Over here, I think this is my cabbage that I planted. And over here is my collard greens that I'm gonna do again, that I had success growing over here. And I planted these beans by seeds. I planted these 2 weeks ago, and I planted more in here. I know for sure I did, but I guess these are the only ones that actually took and came up were these few plants here. So next I have my squash and zucchini. I think I made butternut squash and the regular squash, and then the zucchini is on down further towards the end. So that's what I have here. So this is the Rockstar, the peach tree. I bought this maybe not even a few weeks ago, but it already had peaches on it, and these are a lot bigger here because they don't have to pump nutrients to all the other ones like my other few ones that I've had for a few years, but they only have to worry about these 2. So that's why these are going to be a lot bigger than the ones on my other peach trees when you see it. Now this is the one I've had for about 2 years, As you can see, there are a lot of peaches on this tree, and I still have to prune most of them because you can see some are bigger than the other, and that means that the tree is, you know, paying attention more to those. So I'm gonna prune the smaller ones, so that way the tree can concentrate its nutrients into the ones that they, you know, that are bigger and that will grow, because that's how you know that they're sweet, because the tree will be pumping all of its nutrients into those. So you don't want to have too many. Like I tell people, is for me, it's quality over quantity. So I could care less if I have 200 peaches or not. I want them to taste really well. Right here is my plum tree, and as you can see, there's one. That one is getting a little bit bigger right here than normal when it rained, and there's another one here. They're green, so it's hard to see. And then there's two more right there. They're getting bigger. So, and I can't see all the way at the top because this tree is probably well over 8 feet tall, so I can't see. So I'll know if I have more once it starts to grow. Now this is the peach tree that I've had since I moved in here. So this one, I planted this in 2021, so 3 years old. So this tree is 3 years old and it has plenty of peaches as well. But again, I have to go through and prune it for the smaller ones off. And also, you want to you don't want your tree can't handle all that weight. Peaches get big and they get heavy, so it can cause the branches to bend. So you don't want that either. So that's why you do prune and everything like that. So that's why I have a few days off. So that's what I'll be doing on my off days, out here recutting my grass again because it rained and it looks like I didn't cut it, and pruning these peach trees. So thank you all for staying to the end of this vlog. As always, hug on the ones that you love. Tell the ones that you love them. I'm out.
I don't know when I'll be back again. Kiss me and smile for me.